And just like I was explaining to you earlier before we got on live, my son listens to that music.
Exactly.
And I don't even know who these dudes are. I just know they from the North End.
So salute QB and Lore Heavy. We will be interviewing them. And that's key. Mm-hmm. That you saying being where you reside or you from, mm-hmm. and knowing what's going on with the mix of the streets, your son still listens to somebody that maybe somebody a little older than him will be like upset at that.
Right.
Or won't listen to. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's key. And like I was telling you before we got on live, the way your son is looking up to them and you know and loving their music and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. QB's age, his demographic was doing the same thing to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I feel like the content I was spitting was real and it was what was going on, but it wasn't right. And I feel like it caused more damage because all it did was do the domino effect to the next generation. Mm-hmm. So with what I do, with what you do, I feel like we're a part of the healing process and a part of just making it where it make more sense. Because I'm a realist. It ain't something you just walk down the street and everybody shake hands and you forget. The whole Bridgeport lost thousands of people within the past 20 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that easy. I know it's not that easy. Being from where I'm from, I still feel like I don't go outside, whether I'm carrying or not, armed or not, to harm nobody. I'm going outside because I'm afraid. I think somebody's gonna harm me. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted, you definitely to sit down with a QB and different artists like that, because we get a little older and kind of forget how we was and what was going on back when we was a kid. Mm-hmm. And I try to stay level, being that my son is as well. My son about to be 14, so try to understand where they coming from and make some type of sense or reasoning from it. So now, not even just you, even me, I kind of understand. Okay, these dudes. At the end of the day, to me, whether they 20, 21, they kids. They could be our kids if we had children like earlier.
But I feel like too, like just from looking at his video, they probably don't even know like younger people are probably even watching that. Yeah. Because the guns here and stuff like that. Like I feel like if he knew that like my 15-year-old son was looking at that, he'd probably be like, maybe I wouldn't have did that because I got somebody else younger than me looking at me. So I mean I like his music. My son loves it.
I love it too.
It's just
I love his music.
That.
But hip hop is a form of expressing yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So at the same time, you don't. It's conflicting because you want to show like this is what's really going on in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
So it's not like Westport, a Westport kid doing this, and then you're like, come on now, mm-hmm. They ain't throwing up signs, they not riding around like that. It's going on out here. So these kids the music, even for myself, was an outlet to express because I couldn't go to my mom and express. So now I'm going to the studio saying what I'm going through once I walk out that door. Mm-hmm. So once again, that's why I said like as our age being that we're still young, mm-hmm. but we're older than these young fellas. So we got to come to understand it, and that's why I definitely wanted you and him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to understand it, and then whatever wisdom that you could give to him as well as me, because like I said, I love the dude. I run into him all the time, and I tell him like when I run into him, I be like, yo, like you putting these videos out, how much like you making the money off it? So now I'm trying to tell him like, don't waste this talent. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the last time we speak to now, I see more artistry.
Okay.
Because when I was their age, it was just like we were just gonna rap and just talk or whatever. Like we're not trying to make this a career. And I believe he could make a career and bunch of Bridgeport artists and all over the state. And it's definitely with that age group, because I feel like I lost the window gap by going to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Like I feel like if he had mad positive stuff to say, Like, I just feel like he could change
Yeah.
mad stuff.
Yeah, because
just with his outlet from what he got, younger kids listening to him. I feel like he could be a game changer for the city.
Yeah, he definitely, because he's a popular artist, a popular person. He has influence, and once you got influence, you run it. Me and you have influence. You see what we do. We could just be like, yo, we're gonna be downtown and everybody's gonna show.
No,
because
Joe Griggs could be like, yo, everybody go downtown and everybody's gonna go. Because Joe Griggs he stopped cars on highways. Toya's not getting on nobody's highway, stopping no traffic. I'm sorry. No, if Joe Griggs say go, you could go. He shut down businesses and everything. No.
But hey, listen, you are correct, and that's the point. That's the point when I speak
I'm just
to
following behind you.
Nah, yo, listen.
Joe Griggs say go, we going.
Now we're big influence, and that's key because once again, at a time, instead of saying everybody show up downtown and let's march and let's go against the system and the police and the government, I was saying, let's meet up at the park and let's go shoot these dudes. Let's go jump this side. And they followed them. So when I went to prison and even when I came home and studied and talked to my elders, that's when I seen that. It was like, yo, if you could have somebody shoot a gun, you could have them to shoot a jump shot at the court. And I became a coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the aggression and the militant style, the general, the way I am, I was able to do that. And same thing, I feel like with your messages and your positivity, like you're all like, I mean, we laugh and we got our sense of humor and we kick it all the time. But I feel like you're so positive and you're so for the kids, you're so for the youth. And like I said, these dudes is 18 or maybe 24. They still kids to me, because if we had children in our teens, they could be I got friends right now that's my age and they kids is 21. You know what I'm saying? So these dudes could be our children, and I don't want to see none of them lose their life, especially when I know they're gifted. And we have people like Pop Smoke died at 20, King Vaughn died at 25 to 26, FBG Duck, all these rappers.
And they was dying back to back.
Back to back. And we've never, even though
I didn't even know about half of them until they died. Like, they was literally like dying back to back.
Yeah. And we never really seen this before. In hip hop, we never really seen Biggie, Tupac, that was so major. And then it took until like years later with like Big L or somebody. But now, the past 3-4 years, at least 2 to 3 rappers died, whether it's from gun violence or, rest in peace to the young man Juice WRLD through drugs and different things that we need to speak on. So, go ahead.
What?
Nah, I'm gonna say if you got anything to say,
No.
about.
No, I'm listening.
But yeah, so as a young black sister, we know that the women influence a lot of what's going on with the dudes, with the young boys. So what do you have to say to young 18-year-old female who's dating a drug dealer, dating somebody who may be in the streets or, have a potential to be in an incident that, could be violent or whatever the case may be? Because it's heartbreaking. At your age, if your partner, your man or whatever, something happens to him, you're gonna be heartbroken. So, but you been through so much, you may be more able to adjust than an 18-year-old girl or a 17-year-old girl. So, what do you got to say, like, to something like that?
There is nothing to say about that, because for one, you can't tell somebody who they love. You can't tell somebody not to be with this person because he's involved in the streets. He's gonna get killed. Like, you can't tell that person that, because it's innocent people getting killed for no reason. Yeah, so definitely. Honestly, I can't answer that. I really can't answer that, because like I said, I've never been in a situation to where I've had to experience that. But
so you don't have any type of advice to a female that may be interested in, because a lot and that's the thing I want to when I get these young brothers up here and able to talk to them. For some reason, and I'm pretty sure through your teenage years to now, it's like the sisters in the hood